Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. And through this channel, I'll be providing some stock analysis and also an update on our $1 million challenge, so please stay tuned. In the previous video, we did a stock update on ticker symbol MMAT with a particular focus on the release of earnings. We looked at assets going up, we looked at revenue going up, but obviously, and also reasons why the stock price was going down. There was also an update in terms of special dividend that was stated in the Form 10Q. So please refer back to the previous video for updates for the earnings. Before we start today's stock analysis, quick reminder of the $1 million challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is an investment journey of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is to achieve 201 trades, each with an average return of approximately 3.5%, not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses as well. So for the challenge, we have a special spreadsheet with specific stocks, many of them low and medium risk, with the objective to try to achieve the 3.5% return. Discord community is working together in the challenge, well in excess of 300 now, sharing due diligence, trading tips, information, buy alerts, etc. The Discord area includes sections such as an agreement area, FAQs, area. You can chat and ask questions in there. The stock spreadsheet is also available in the challenge area. You can share your buys. There's a king and queen alert section and also leaderboard and updates. So once you join us in the journey for this challenge, you'll be able to get access to an exclusive, more in-depth detailed strategy video. There's also a spreadsheet video. So join us on this journey. Details in the description below. Today's stock analysis is for ticker symbol MMAT and also an update for ticker symbol MMTLP, the preferred share. So before we look at the updates, let's have a quick look at the chart for today. So over the previous 2 days, many of you will know that market conditions have been very tough, very difficult. Many of the stocks across the board have been trending down. So overall, the previous 2 days have been red days, so MMAT is not immune from this, and we can see here on the screen the stock was down just in excess of 2% today. But what I can see a little bit pleasing in terms of the stock, it did hit at one point close to $4.15, and then just prior to close of market in the power hour, strong recovery from around about $4.20, closing at $4.31, and at one point just going in excess of $4.35. So a good finish to the day, but overall not a great 2 days in terms of trading. What I'd like to do in today's video is focus on an important tweet from John A. Berder. So before we look at the tweet, let's have a quick reminder of who this person is for anybody who does not know. So on the screen you'll be able to see a quick summary of his profile. So John A. Berder was the former president, CEO, secretary of Torchlight Energy Resources. He's still a significant holder of stock in Metamaterial. So let's now have a look at his position with regard to holding shares in MMAT. So on the screen here, you'll be able to see an overview of the key insiders from Fintel. So we can see here on the right hand side, we've got George, who's just holding in excess of 51 million shares. We also have Thomas Gordon Welch, who's an owner just in excess of 10%, holding just in excess of 69 million shares. And in the middle column, we can also see another key insider, Anne Barbara Lambert, holding just in excess of 70 million shares. But what we're focusing on today is John Berder. We can see him on the left, holding just in excess of 1 million shares. Let's now proceed to have a look at the key tweet in question and why I think that is an important thing to look at. Let's have a look at the tweet in question. So we can see here, this was a tweet in response to a tweet from MMAT News, who stated here, "Can anyone make this clear? If you purchase MMTLP shares, are you eligible for the dividend payout?" So John here has responded, "Unfortunately, yes, that was not the design, but FINRA and a couple of BDs went round us. No, they won't tell us who it is." So the implication from this is that this was not from with regard to permission from the companies. There are some brokers that decided to go ahead and use the OTC market for trading of these preference shares. The company apparently don't know who these brokers were, so potentially, if we speculate, possibly maybe some hedges were behind this with the objective of encouraging people to sell these preference shares in order to get them cheap. We know they were trading for less than $1, and we know the trading price is still around $1. Let's now proceed to have a look at some of the responses to this tweet. So let's have a look at some responses here. So Daniel Ontario has stated here, so you're telling me I could have sold Torch at its peak of $11 and bought the dividend for around about $1.50. Trade Subway's Cup has chipped in here by saying not by design, but yes. So question mark, what's the point of lamenting about what could have been? It's certainly not the company's fault. So this is in response to what John has said. It's not what the company intended in terms of their objective. Johnny Day has also chipped in and said, if that's true, I hope they're ready for a lot of lawsuits from the shareholders. And it was specifically stated that you are only eligible for the dividend if you bought before the merger. George, he's tagged in George here and say, can you confirm this is true? So I think Johnny does have a good point here, because anybody who buys these preferred shares, MMTLP, will not have actually held the shares at the qualifying date that we know that was in June. So what's going on here? And finally, Jeff at the bottom, Jeff N, has said exactly, so many people have lost a shit ton of money because we were told the only way to get the dividend was to buy it and hold it for particular dates in June. I think somebody should be responsible for our losses. So let's have a look at some further tweets here. We're going to start by having a look at a tweet from Texas Shark Guy, and he said there was absolutely no reason to hold through all of that crap through the merger to receive the divvy payout. I'm bullish on MMAT regardless, but that is some BS. It's not per the merger agreement either, and it specifically said you had to buy and hold through these dates. Mike has also chipped in and he said, that's why the SEC subpoenaed, in my opinion. I put an order in on Robinhood. They sold 1/3 of my position at $2.50 on the initial run-up. But then it sold the entire position. So what Mike is saying here is intended to sell 1/3, but the app sold all of his shares. So certainly something seems to be underhand there, if that is true. He's also proceeded to say he's luckily be able to buy some of them back at a discount, but it's questionable possibly now whether these shares that he bought back at a discount, are they going to be eligible? Time will tell. The Future Emperor has also said, I kept my original dividend shares, added more. I agree that with a lot of people here that if he had known this was the case, then obviously it looks like some strong underhand dealings here. And finally, Jimmy at the bottom, he said, stock was up at dividend date. At the ex-dividend date, nobody forced you to hold. Everyone knew that MMAT was a startup and expected to drop the price to drop drastically. He is still bullish on the company and has held and is still holding strong. What I'd now like to have a look at is a response from John to many of these comments. So we can see here, John has chipped in again and he said, so much for trying to be helpful. No more info from me. I'm not here to take shit. Wait for the company update. So John is certainly angry, and the reason why John is angry is because the information he's given has also created lots of animosity and anger from the shareholders, from the people who held. So obviously he's the messenger, he's getting shot, he's not happy about it, and he's saying wait for company updates. So Jimmy here has also chipped in to say basically you have way more support than you realize. Haters are going to hate you. I appreciate you. Obviously investors do want someone to share information. That's what John has done, but people have attacked him as well. And Johnny at the bottom have also said people are angry because obviously no research was done, but there was a bad investment. You need to obviously only blame yourself, but we did our research, we listened, we read anything, and now we have to hold. So what I'd now like to do is have a look at what George has been up to today. So George has not responded to this tweet from John. However, he has responded to a tweet from Dave. So shout out to Dave here. Dave stated here in terms of tagging George. He said, good morning, George. I was wondering if we investors could get an update on the brand new facility and if you're still on schedule to move in this year. So this is with regards to a 68,000 square foot R&D manufacturing process facility that is situated on the outskirts of Halifax. Now let's have a look at George's response. So again, November the 18th, 2021, George did respond. He says, coming soon. So that's positive news. We have an image here of the potential factory in terms of the size and how it may look. Thank you to the architects and engineers, one of the world's top 3 global design firms. A sneak peek of Meta's 68,000 square foot nano fabrication and customer training center facility. So this is a bullish tweet. He's being positive. Let's see what else we can see with regards to George. And finally, at 3:23 p.m, November the 18th, George has finished off by saying, "Hi Dave, here are the latest updates as part of the shareholder letter, which also talks about the parallel expansion of our California and Quebec facilities." So this is good news in terms of the plans and the potential future for the company. Let's finish off by looking at some responses and outcomes from George's tweet. Let's finish off by giving a shout out to Trade Subways Cup, who's responded to the overall situation with what's happening to MMAT by stating here, so Rockstar Stocks, "You inspired me to pull the trigger and I guess I just did a thing. So I believe in Ryan Cohen and I believe in George." So what Trade Subways Cup has shown here in his tweet is a buy order for 15,000 shares in MMAT, price $4.31 today. So that's certainly an indication in confidence in and belief in the company. And finally, just to finish off, I'd like to add my take on terms of the whole situation. I think overall I'm still not pleased with the way it has played out since merger. I think the company certainly could have been more positive in terms of PR. I think we are awaiting significant contracts. I think that will come. I also believe that there has been some significant underhand dealings behind the scenes. Certainly the situation with regards to MMTLP has not played out well. I think if anybody was misled into selling these preference shares, then that's not a good situation as well. It's certainly not what we expected to happen. However, in terms of the company long term, I think the potential immense. The potential is huge. The plans that we are seeing are tremendous. The angles and the patents and the potential for the company in terms of defense, medical, EV, etc. is huge. So I think the stock will certainly be a great stock still for the future and for the long term. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.